Hi, I am Mrs. Mooney, and I'm going to read Chapter 3 of Bob called Livy. The zombie must have decided to forgive me because it, is smiling at me now. But is it a smile like when you have decided to smile? Not the kind of smile that just happens on its own? This is what a smiling zombie looks like. Short, green skin, not grass green. More like inside an avocado green. No hair unless you count one long eyebrow and a patchy fuzz growing on the top of its head. Pretty skinny. I can see one knobby knee sticking out of the chicken suit where the seam has come undone. Big, melted chocolate brown eyes. No eyelids. Smooth skin, at least the parts I can see. A nose. White teeth. Lips turned up at the ends. Like I said, it's potentially a fake smile. Is that a chicken suit? I asked. Doesn't actually make him look anything like a chicken. In fact, don't ask me how I even know it's a chicken suit. He sniffs. Of course it's the chicken suit. The one you made for me. He reaches behind his neck and yanks the hood up. It's just an orangey cloth with glued-on feathers and an oversized red felt chicken comb stuck on the top of the hood. It looks like the kid cut it out with bad scissors and glued it right there. Point at him. I made that? He tilts his head and the red felt chicken combo flaps to one side. Of course you made it. I didn't even know what a chicken was before I met you. I learned about the chicken comb in kindergarten when our class visited a farm. There's a huge rooster there named Queen. How come I remember the name of the rooster I met in kindergarten, but I don't remember this? Why are you wearing chicken suit? In here, in the closet. I mean, where he seems to live. He sniffs again. I'm wearing it, so I will be ready. He hikes up one side of the thing, and the other side drops to the floor. Ready for what? He gives a long stare. I figure it's another thing I'm supposed to remember. And why it's like half on, half off? It reminds me of this kid in my class last year who always wore his coat with one arm pulled out of the sleeve. If you must know, I started to remove it about a year ago. I thought I might as well change clothes, but I'm afraid my left foot might be detached. There was an unfortunate incident involving the dictionary. You were attacked by the dictionary? I didn't say that. It was more of a tipping over. He glares at the dictionary and strokes it like the pet rabbit or something. Zombie parts detach very easily, you know. If I take the rest of the chicken suit off, the foot may peel right off with it. I hide him carefully. What is your name? I ask. The zombie drops something on the floor. I look down at his feet and I see a Lego pirate. The pirate's hat has fallen off and his little arms are stretched out toward like he's trying to get it back. When I look up, the zombie has made that mad look on his face again. You don't remember my name, he asks. Then I realize he isn't mad. His feelings are hurt. This is how the zombie looks when his feelings are hurt. Pretty much as the same before, except the one eyebrow goes up and both sides of the mouth go down. I'm sure you'll remember it, I said quickly. But if you tell me how, I'll know it sooner. I don't think I will, the zombie says. I think I'll let you remember it, since you're so great at remembering things. Olivia! It's Mom calling from downstairs. Lunchtime! That's me, I tell the zombie. I'm Olivia. People call me Livy. He rolls his eyes. I know your name. Then he uses one foot to nudge the Lego pirate towards his ship. He does the same with the pirate's black hat. The small pieces are easy to lose, he mumbles. Olivia, Mom calls again. Her voice is closer this time. I have to go eat, I say, but I'll be back. Pull the light cord and close the closet door. Heard that before, he mutters from the other side. Gran has made a ham and cheese sandwiches with pickles. Mom must have told her it's my second favorite lunch after tacos. She pours us a tall glass. To Rain, Gran says, raising her glass. Mom glances at me and then raises her glass. To rain, she says. Then they look at me, so I say it too. Beth Ann can't even hold a glass, just points at Gran's nose like she likes to point to the nose. It hasn't rained in Grant's town over a long, long time, which is bad. It's called a drought. It's bad for the plants, bad for the animals, and bad for the people who live around here. Mom says the drought is why Gran doesn't have horses anymore. She couldn't feed them because her grass stopped growing. She has to share the water with the neighbors, and only gets a little bit. Mom says she'll show me how to brush my teeth in a special way so I don't waste any. Livy, Gran says, when your mom leaves and it's just the two of us, I thought maybe you and I could make a cake. She shows me a fat cookbook called Women's Weekly Children's Birthday Cookbook. Livy, this is the best cake cookbook on the planet, Mom says. Cake sounds good, but I have a zombie waiting for me upstairs. I don't really want to think about Mom leaving. And so I say it. It sounds great. Lunch is pretty quick because Beth Ann gets right down to what Dad calls her job, which is crying. Yes, crying is her job. She really is good at it. No one even bothers trying to talk when she cries because she's so loud. Gran rubs Beth Ann's back while we put our heads down and eat. When I finish my sandwich, my pickle, and Mom's pickle, I shout over the crying to say, I'm going upstairs to read in the canopy bed. Mom shouts back, great idea. And she says she'll help me find a book. I talk really loudly in the upstairs hall so the zombie will know I'm not alone. When we walk into my room, the closet door is closed and there's no sign of him. Mom puts her hand on my shoulder and leads me to the bookshelf against the far wall. This was all mine, she says. I tilt my head to read a few towels. Alice in Wonderland, which of course I've heard of, Snuggle Pot and Cuddle Pie, which I hadn't. Mom picked out the book with a strange cover, and one half of a smiling girl and one half of a knight wearing black armor, lined up so they look like two sides of one person. Half magic, she says. I loved this when I was your age. Just think, Olivia, when you were here, you couldn't even read. Time goes by so quickly. I laid on the bed and pretended to love Mom's book right away, even though it usually takes a little while to love a book. She gives me a quick hug and goes back downstairs where Beth Ann is still crying. I run to the closet. The zombie is hovering over the pirate ship again, this time with a Lego monkey in his hand. He drops the monkey and puts his hand over his ears. What is that? He asks. Is that horrible noise? Close the door. I tell him quickly. It's only the baby doing her middle of the night crying. Is it middle of the night? He asks. It doesn't feel like middle of the night, though I must admit the closet is not bad for a place to decide what time it is. There's a certain timeness to the closets. This one, anyway. It's the middle of the night in Massachusetts, I tell him. Gran's house is 14 hours ahead of Massachusetts time. Well, he says, I guess your baby must be very good at math, but I wish you would make her stop. It's annoying, but it's her job, I tell him. And she's not my baby. Though I did name her. Mom and Dad let me because they read a book that said it might help with my adjustment, being the big sister. Then I have no idea why I named her Beth Ann. They probably should have named her themselves. Downstairs, the phone starts ringing. Gran Nichols has a really loud phone because our hearing isn't so great. You can hear the phone ringing, even when Beth Ann is crying. When I talk to Gran Nichols on the phone at home, Mom always stands right behind me and tells me to speak up, and Gran always says, tell your mother I can hear you just fine. I got my ears on. That's what she calls her hearing aids, her ears. I guess my phone was for Mom, because now she's yelling into it and laughing. My mom hasn't seen her friends in 5 years, I tell the zombie. He looks up. Me neither. Do you have friends, I ask? Friends like you? That, he says, is what we were trying to find out. Remember? I'm tired of saying anything I don't remember. Instead, I point to his foot, the one inside the chicken soup. Can you wiggle it? I think so. I see the bottom of the chicken soup move and the one feather flutters off, and he sneezes. Take the suit off, I say. Bet your foot's totally fine. No, he says quickly. I'm not in the mood. You're scared. I am not scared. I just don't feel like it. What kind of zombie gets scared about taking off a chicken suit? I thought zombies were strong and powerful. Are they? He looks up at me. You really never met another zombie? He shakes his head. But what about your parents? He's quiet now, concentrating on attaching the little plastic monkey to the pirate ship's mainsail. 2 hands, he tells the monkey. We don't want you to fall off and get lost like poor Mr. Parrot. The zombie has definitely spent way too much time alone. You don't have parents, I ask? He says, we've been over this, he says. No parents that I know of, no idea who I am, no idea why I mixed up with your grand's chickens, no idea where I came from or how to get back. Then how do you know you're a zombie in the first place? The same way I know of a lot of things. You told me. Me? You mean before, when I was 5? I didn't know anything. I blinked a few times and take a long look at him. Why, I didn't even think he was a zombie when I opened the closet this morning. He's green and his clothes are kind of ratty, but does that make him a zombie? Pretty sure 5-year-olds confuse both of us. Listen, I said, what if you're not a zombie? I am a zombie. I know I am. That's why I don't need to eat or sleep. And that's why I'm so careful about my parts falling off. But have any parts fallen off ever? He glances at the foot inside the chicken suit. I'm not. Hold out your hand. He holds out one hand. Look, I said. 5 fingers. He wiggles them. But how do you know how many I started with? Maybe I had 6. Maybe I had 8. I shake my head. Take that foot out of the chicken suit. Bet you $100 it's still attached. He hugs the rattly old orange cloth to his body. No! This kind reminds me of the time Susanna Hopwell kicked me in the face with her soccer cleats. Not on purpose. We were both going after the ball. I tripped and rolled, and the bottom of her shoe scraped the whole side of my face. I covered my cheek with both hands, and I wouldn't let anyone look. I was too afraid of what they might see. Finally, Dad blocked the door to the field house bathroom so I could look in the mirror by myself. There was a big gash next to my ear, but it wasn't as bad as what I had been imagining. I had 14 stitches. Mom brought a big bag of candy corn, almost as big as my backpack. Do you want to look at it by yourself? I ask him. He grunts and says, if I wanted to look at it by myself, don't you think I would have done that by now? I have an idea. Point to the huge dictionary. Let's look up zombie and see if you match the definition. He looks worried. But what if I'm not a zombie? What happens then? If you're not a zombie, then your foot is connected to your body. That would be good news, right? He thinks and nods and puts his hands on the dictionary and pushes it along the floor, out of the closet to where I'm standing. I sit on the rug, open the dictionary to A, and then I wish I started at the back. I have to move the pages in big clumps with both hands. This is probably not really a zombie. Waits patiently. I get to Z, trail my finger down the pages like I've seen Dad do. I move past zest, spirited, enjoyment, gusto, past zodiac, and land on zombie. We lean in together and read the definition.